compliance call. So, to be respectful of everyone's time, including my own, it's 9 o'clock or 9 o'clock here, 10 o'clock for most of you. So we are going to go ahead and get started. All right. So again, welcome to quarter one compliance call. Here's the fun legal stuff we always have to put in any presentation. Here's the agenda today. So it's a pretty packed agenda. So I'm going to go over Cambridge Resource Center update. I'm going to talk about proposal and analysis tools, forms requiring supervision, 529 update, important communication reminders. There's guidance following the passing of a client that Cambridge just put out. There's now an annuity guidance webpage, some hot topics, and of course at the end I always have resources available with links to everything that I talk about, and then of course questions. So first, the Cambridge Resource Center. So it is scheduled to be retired on May 1st. They have Indy, the new AI-powered platform, is replacing it, is scheduled to replace it. So May 1st is the date right now. We'll see if they stick with it or not. Indy had some quirks, but it is and has been getting better. Also, as of now, the compliance manual is now uploaded in Indy. So you can ask her questions related to the manual, which is nice because if any of you have ever looked at the compliance manual, it is not an easy document to search through. Important reminder regarding proposal and analysis tools. Cambridge policy prohibits use of hypothetical performance with retail and accredited clients. Hypothetical performance is limited to use with only an allowed client type. This would typically include qualified clients, qualified purchasers, and institutional clients who also meet both of the following criteria. So they have resources to independently analyze the data and financial expertise to understand its risk and limitations. If a client does qualify, there is an investor attestation and understanding of hypothetical performance form that needs to be completed and submitted in Reg Ed under advertising, along with a copy of the report that you're intending to use. And this has to be done prior to use with the client. So I want to make sure everyone was aware of that. And as a reminder, take note that reporting software you use, ensure that it is permitted to be used with clients and prospects. There is a list of reports and how they can be used to this link, and any of these links that are blue, these hyperlinks, you can click on this link when I send this out after the call, and it'll take you directly to the page, the proposal generation and financial planning tools list. Any reports that you want to use that are not on there, can be submitted as advertising for review. And reports not on the list must be approved prior to use. So just keep that in mind. If you go to that tool, there's a specific report that you want to use, but it's not on there, you have to get it approved with Cambridge first. Forms requiring supervision. So there's an updated list. So here are some of the things that are changing. So Cambridge has provided additional clarification on what is included in direct maintenance form supervision. Please note the following. Updated language for supervision. So for directly held accounts, sponsor maintenance forms requiring supervision include those with financial or control implications, such as beneficiary updates, withdrawal requests to third parties, addition of trading authority, and any forms requiring a medallion signature guarantee. So those all still need to be uploaded for OSJ approval. And then while Cambridge does not require supervision of routine maintenance forms, so for example, address changes, standard first-party banking information, they must be maintained in the client file for book and records purposes. Additionally, the sponsor company may have specific submission and approval policies, so obviously do what they require. And it's also important to note that if you change the address with a direct company, it may not feed over to Cambridge, so you also want to update the address with Cambridge as well for a client. TOD forms, both direct and clearing firm business submitted outside of a new account packet, they should be submitted for supervision, so those still need to be submitted for approval, OSJ approval. And then prefix change forms, those also still need to be submitted for OSJ approval. The best interest questions are included as part of the prefix change form. So if you're submitting one of those, you do not need to do a BIA in addition to that. You just need to do the prefix change form and whatever other forms that are required. So upcoming change, 529 beneficiary information for direct plans. So this is a good thing. I think everyone would like this. Improvements are being made to the process for direct 529 plans. The updated form will be available beginning March 24th. So the new version form, which will be dated 3/10/26, full client information will no longer be required for 529 plan beneficiaries listed as joint and secondary investors. So this change applies to both client information suitability forms and entries within CLIC. Archiving through SMART and other important communication reminders. So as you all know, all incoming and outgoing email correspondence must be set up to archive through SMART. This is correspondence with any securities related communication with clients, support staff, supervisors, other FPs, wholesalers, and other parties. As you guys know, there's two options that SMART has that Cambridge provides. In addition, after initial setup, if you make any changes to your email domain, you need to reach out to Compliance Communications so they can verify to make sure that archiving does not get interrupted or disrupted. So if you do make any email domain change, please reach out to that team to make sure everything is still set up for archiving. Sending text messages. So this is still a big hot topic, so I will probably be continually bringing these up on these compliance calls just to help drill it in. I think everyone's gotten a lot better getting clients trained, but it's still on FINRA's radar and it's still being caught a lot in audits, so I'd like to just make sure that I keep this front of mind. All securities related text communications are subject to the same retention and supervision requirements. So Cambridge allows texting for only certain approved channels. There's a list on here of the approved channels that are available. And as a reminder, text messaging is not encrypted, so you do not want to send any confidential information. There's a link for off-channel reporting, how and what to include. That's on this slide, that if you have any you need additional information or questions, of course, you can always reach out to me as well. Digital collaboration tools. To use digital collaboration tools such as Microsoft Teams, for example, most of these tools require specific licensing with these licensing packages to use these to establish the archiving connection through SMART. In addition to having to make sure it's set up with SMART, there is a $10 per month per user SMART archiving fee. So I'll give an example. So if you want to use Microsoft Teams chat and Teams, other members of your team or whatever the case may be, all of that needs to be archived. So just think anything in writing that is securities related has to be archived. Additional information regarding the process can be found on the digital collaboration page, so that link is included on this slide. Any communications occurring via an unapproved channel should be reported to offchannel@cir2.com. Again, off-channel reporting, how and what to include. I included a link on this. Essentially, if a client if a client texts you on your personal cell number and it has securities related information, that text, I need to stop saying it, that text needs to be forwarded to your email and then forwarded to offchannel@cir2.com. So if you need assistance with that, let me know. I'd be happy to help. Guidance following the passing of a client. So obviously, passing of a client is a very difficult and touchy subject, but there are some immediate actions that are required for you to do. You need to notify Cambridge and all sponsor companies immediately. Prompt notification ensures the appropriate restrictions and processes are in place. You want to freeze the account, so that means no new orders, no movement of funds or securities, and no distribution until legal documentation is received and the appropriate next steps are confirmed. Cancel all open orders. Important considerations. Joint and co-owned accounts, along with accounts with the trustee or other fiduciary role, may have unique distribution requirements, so you want to review the account registrations carefully to determine the next steps. If you're not sure, you can reach out to me and I'd be happy, Jen or myself, and we'd be happy to help you with that. Next, annuity guidance webpage. So, as you all are probably aware, annuities are heavily scrutinized in our industry, and Cambridge has been getting a lot of NIGOs in regard to annuities. The good news is we already are we do a great job with making sure the annuity paperwork and everything is in line. As you guys see, any of you who have submitted annuities know that it's heavily scrutinized, and if I send paperwork back for anything, it's usually for an annuity, but there's a reason for that. So if you're wanting to do annuities, if you're new with annuities, this is a guideline webpage. It provides lots of great information for you, but this is for helping you making sure reviewing, documenting for VAs, RILAs, and FIAs. It helps, it provides a list. It has general requirements for annuity recommendations, so making sure you're properly licensed. It has information about what paperwork requirements are needed for the annuity, so it gives you a list of that. It lets you know what common NIGOs are out there and how to reduce those. So making sure you're filling out the forms correctly and information is not missing, or that you have all the proper documentation uploaded in the first place. Um, this will help, like I said, reduce NIGOs and follow-ups. You want to make sure you have strong client-specific suitability rationales. I've had to send forms back on the annuity disclosure because it didn't really explain why, especially if you're replacing an annuity for another. Just making sure that the suitability, you have it written out on there, and it shows that it is definitely in the best interest of the client for that annuity. So quite a few hot topics to go over. This here so I can read my notes. Okay, so just a reminder that FINRA requires every form you forward to be kept current and accurate at all times for OBAs, disclosable events, and change of address. So if you have any changes, or if you're not sure something needs to be included, just reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help you and let you know. Reminder for sending encrypted emails. So not only is this still a big thing on FINRA's radar, but this is something that in SMARSH is, I would say, our biggest, one of our, this and then unapproved advertising, but emails not being properly encrypted is the biggest violation we are seeing in SMARSH. At the end of this, I have a link that gives you information on making sure that you have emails properly encrypted. So please just be mindful of that. I know we're all human and we make mistakes, but it's just be conscious if you're sending emails to clients. If you're requesting information for them to send you back, you must use sensitive, because emails coming from a personal email box is not secure. You send it secure. Secure and encrypt works for people who have some sort of encryption on their computer, like us. So like you can email us, you can email your OSJ. We all are on SMARSH. You can email Cambridge with secure and encrypt because they're on SMARSH, but personal emails are not. So you have to use sensitive if you're requesting them to send you something back, because otherwise they are not able to send you back something securely. There's a new compliance training link. So just want to make sure you all are aware of that. I included that link on the resources page. Just wanted to remind everyone to consistently check trade review for outstanding items. Overall, it has gotten a lot better, but there's still some items that have been hanging out there for well over a month. Cambridge expects you to check trade review every single day. I just ask for you to check it at least once a week. I prefer more than once a week. Trade review items are not just for new business. There could be trade warnings. There could be something else. I mean, there's all kinds of things that could be in trade review. It's not just new business. So even if you're not submitting new business, please go in there and check trade review on a consistent business. Another thing I wanted to point out again that I remind everyone of is it defaults to 180 days. You can change that to 360 days, because if you have something older than 180 days and you do not change that, you will not see it. Firelight. So Firelight is a new tool that is being used for some annuities. So I wanted to let you know Firelight is not a replacement for MGAs, and admins can see FP cases. They are currently updating and improving Firelight, but currently right now, if you do submit an annuity through Firelight, you will not get notifications. So they are constantly improving this. So far, we've had Two FPs use Firelight. One, Cambridge approved it. The second one, I approved it. Jen and I looked over it and we went over it. And she's on a lot of teams with Cambridge, so she's great at letting them know what we want fixed and how to get stuff improved, which has been great. So most of you are still using traditional trade review for your annuities, which is fine. But if you do want to use Firelight, we just wanted to make sure you're aware that it's not a replacement for MGAs. Your admin can see it, and you currently are not getting notifications. So if I send something back to you, you're not getting a notification of that. There's a new business management resource out there called FamVault. So FamVault is a secure digital platform that helps FPs protect and organize and seamlessly transfer clients' wills and trusts and other critical legal documents. So it's a great way to get documents from clients, personal, financial, and all kinds of documents uploaded. And it's more than just a static vault. It also ensures that they're automatically delivered to the right people at the right time. Upon the death of a loved one, FamVault automatically delivers information to designated executors and authorized parties. So it helps you accelerate estate settlements, reduce administrative burden, and support efficient wealth transfer. Uh, I'll have the link on the resources page if you want more information on it or want to check it out. Cambridge FPs currently get a 25% discount. So for some of you, depending on how your practice is set up, it might be something very beneficial for you to check out. I just wanted to make sure I brought it to your attention. Zoc integration with Click is now available. So anybody who uses Zocs, that's good news for you. And for those of you who use CAP accounts, Cambridge has created, you have a new service experience team with a direct number and email. So that is huge. I think that is great news for anybody because quite a few of you do use CAP. So I think that is great news for you who use that. So note takers, just wanted to give you a reminder because I know more and more of you are using Jump or Zocs. So Jump requires client consent to utilize the recording feature, so you're never allowed to record a client meeting without their permission, but if they give you permission, you are allowed to record it. Zocs does not require consent due to the fact that it's just a note taker, not a recording. So you don't need to ask permission for the note taker to take notes, but to record on Jump, you do need to get your client's permission first before you record the meeting. Resources available. So again, the Indy, for more information on Indy, the proposal and analysis tools, there's the link for that. Forms requiring supervision, the 529 update, the archiving reminders, encrypted email. So if you're kind of confused still or need some guidance or want some more help on that's the link for that. Compliance training. So there's a link for compliance trainings, which we know come out midsummer. Passing of a client, the annuity webpage, the FamVault, so the new business management resource, and of course information if you use Zocs integration with Click. So I have that included. And then the new CAP team, so introduction, the new CAP service experience team. So if you use CAP, you want to check that out and then have their email and phone number readily accessible. So that is the conclusion of today's meeting. I know that was a lot of stuff I just thrown at you guys. Any questions? Jim? Jim, if you're talking, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Yes, I know. I realize that now. Thank you. I was just talking and the button popped up, said unmute yourself. Okay. Quick question. Going back to the hypothetical performance, does that include hypothetical illustrations for annuities?
So, no, it depends on what it is. So, no, because you provide illustrations for client. It's performance reports. So no,
Okay.
yeah, it's performance reports. So
All right.
what they're doing is they're wanting to make sure that you're not, and not you guys, other FPs at other firms trying to tell clients, well, this performed at 5%, so you're going to get at least 5% or go up higher or whatever the case may be.
There I am. Okay. Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
You're the best, Christina. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Tracy.
I second that.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Jim. Well, if any of you have any questions, please feel free to reach out because I know not everyone's always comfortable asking on a platform like this, which is fine. So Cambridge has not approved this PowerPoint yet. So once they do, I will send it out. They should have approved it before I did this call, but I was not going to cancel the call. So once they approve it, I will send out the PowerPoint in an email to everyone so you can easily access everything I talked about. And then if you read something, you have any more questions, please let me know. Obviously, Jen and I are here, they're happy to help you. She's great with any operations questions, and of course, I'm great with any compliance questions. So obviously, if you ever need us, we're here. So hope everyone has a great rest of the day, and thank you for joining us. And yeah, see you later.
Thanks, Christina.
Yeah,
You're
thanks,
welcome, bud.
Christina.
You're
Thanks for having us.
welcome.